Hey, good morning everyone. Buddy here from the Denman Homestead, and I am in Pawpaw and Gigi's new house, and today I'm starting the plumbing. I brought some folding tables with all my plumbing stuff. I did all the plumbing in the barn and learned a lot and had a bunch of stuff left over, so why not do the plumbing here too? Should have enough piping. I've got a good amount. I'll show you. So I've kind of got everything laid out right here. You got your 1/2 inch hot and cold and your 3/4 inch hot and cold, and here is the plan. So they wanted everything ran underneath the house, which does make it pretty simple. And I've got this board right here to run everything along, and I can basically tee off in every section. I've already put holes and marked where everything's gonna go, but you can kind of see some holes coming down right there for the shower. Basically, I'll tee off every connection, starting with the cold water, and go up into the house where it needs to go. And then Pops told me today that the hot water heater is actually going to be kind of in a box right here on the back porch. So the goal with that is, with the big feed lines for the 3/4 inch lines, I'll drill 2 holes and bring the cold in, connect it to the hot water heater. Hot will come out and go down, and then tee off. The hot will tee off and basically travel to the places that need hot water around the house. Everything water wise is on this back wall except for the ice maker for the refrigerator and the sink. The ice maker for the refrigerator is actually kind of in the middle right there, and then on this wall right here is the sink. Those holes are all finished where they need to go. Everything's marked and the holes are drilled, so I have access. Now it's just a matter of getting the length of PEX pipe and making all the cuts where it needs to be cut for a T or for an elbow or anything like that. My goal, I placed an order of things that I needed on Amazon, and it will be coming this weekend. Some stuff tomorrow, so today's Friday that I'm starting this recording. Some stuff is coming in tomorrow and Saturday. Some stuff is coming in on Saturday or Sunday. So the goal is that by this weekend, by the time this weekend's over, I'll be finished with the in the house stuff. Pops told me not to worry about any drains or anything like that because they've still got showers and toilets and all that kind of stuff coming, but he just wants to focus on the water right now. So I'll be finished this weekend. By the end of Sunday, I'll be finished with all the plumbing. That's the goal for the water. One cool thing that I found while I was looking for parts, which is going to be kind of neat, I'll show you. The part itself hasn't come in yet, but you know how I told you I'm going to be running everything under the house along this beam. So typically what you would do when I got to about here, which is where the washer and dryer are, when I got to about here, I would just cap it because that's the end. There's no more water going this way, but I have the extra pipe over there, and I found a really cool thing where so I can continue the cold water line all the way down to here, and then out of this wood right here, drill a hole, and I can actually end the water line with a water hose bib because he has no water hose. The only water hose connection is on the complete opposite side of the house. So he will actually have the end of the line is going to be a water hose connection on this side of the house, and it's going to be up high, no crouching and stooping and bending to try and connect the water. It's going to be nice and high and that'll be the end of the line. So kind of kill two birds with one stone. Get water hose over here on this side of the house and cap off my water line. So that was kind of cool. When I was getting parts online, I saw that as like an option, and I was like, oh, very neat. I will order that too. So that's all been ordered and will be coming in. But yeah, Steph's gonna be coming. Steph had to do some real estate stuff today, and she's gonna be coming home pretty soon and helping me out with just kind of holding things in place while I get everything tacked up and cut and measured and all that kind of stuff. So that's the goal. That is the goal for today. Do as much as I can. Stuff starts coming in tomorrow, do a little bit more. Last of the stuff comes in on Sunday, finish it up. And then the last thing that I'll have to do, like I said, I'll be out of the house. The last thing I have to do is the actual connection. So this to me is a very temporary, I don't really like this very much. So this is where his water hose connection is now. This is actually, this hose pipe is a 1/2-inch hose pipe that is the water supply for the house. So I'm going to be tapping onto this and teeing off to keep a water hose connection for him over here, but also feeding the house with a shutoff valve at the house and getting it to from here to there essentially. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that yet. I want it to look professional, and I want it to have everything he needs. Water hose connection, shut off valve if he has to come out here and shut the water off for whatever reason. Preferably somewhere up higher. Anything I can do to keep anyone from having to bend over and stoop over and crouch down, I'm gonna try and do while I'm redoing all this stuff or doing it for the first time. But that's just what it looks like now. So I gotta go from that to something nicer over here for the water. And then, like I said, we're just going all the way down the house this way, stubbing up where we need, all the way down the house halfway down the house this way, stubbing up where we need, and then that one connection kind of in the center for the ice maker. So that's the goal. Just kind of cut off a little piece of the 1/2-inch so I can make sure that the holes are clear of any splintery parts and wood bits and all that kind of stuff. Just that's what I'm doing right now.
Coming to you from Gigi and Pawpaw's house.
That's fast.
I've been missing my husband all day, and I said, can I come help you? What are you doing? So I've come to investigate what he's doing. Let's investigate.
Okay, as Steph sharpens her pencil with a knife, we'll show you the change of plans. And this is Steph's idea. It was a really good idea. It keeps us from having to really clip any of the pipe. We're actually just going to go through these floor joists. One hole, really. Two if there's hot, but not a lot of them need two. But that'll be our clips, and it'll keep it hidden and up and out of the way and
We
straight.
can insulate it.
It could be insulated. It's a much better idea. So we're measuring and making marks right now before we do all the drill to make sure that every hole in every floor joist is at the same place. So you can see we have an H. Ignore the circles, those were the test fits. But we have an H a little bit lower than the cold. That way, as we tee off and elbow off and stuff, we're not bumping into each other. But the cold is just a little bit higher, and the hot is just a little bit lower. We'll just come through and drill through those letters and run our line, run our pipe. So that's the goal. It's just it's gonna be nice. It's just a lot more work, obviously, because now we have to drill through every single floor joist all the way to the end for the water hose. But we don't have to clip anything. So a little bit more work, better finished product, I think. Just checking this one hole because when I was kind of making sure all the holes were going to work, I was hitting this wood right here, trying to see what it was, but shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Is the other hole for the hot water?
This is actually the hot water hole. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's what they're there for.
Okay. So this is the underside, huh?
Yep.
Not yet ventured under.
The tile still standing to this day.
Oh yeah, the tile you put down.
I put this tile down, and they can't even get rid of it by building a whole nother house on it. That's how good a job I did.
Yeah, it seems like it. This is the tile that was never grouted.
What are you talking about, never grouted?
There was never grout.
In between.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but look at it. Look how fancy this
Yeah, you did the mortar really well.
Yeah.
But the grout was lacking, literally. This is crazy that this used to be the foundation of your kitchen.
Yeah.
Did dishes right here in this area. And now it's Gigi and Pawpaw's. Does she fit?
Call on something.
Oh, I see it. You're coming through. Might have to just back up, like.
It's just you don't have a lot of like force space to put force behind it, so you're barely holding on to it.
You want to go the other way? Got a hole. One.
Nice.
One hole. Well, I can officially say I've got my blood and sweat in this house. Haven't cried yet, so I can't say blood, sweat, and tears, but got a little kickback on the drill. Pinned my wrist underneath there, up against a metal bracket. Well, it only you know what though? Can you say you truly worked hard on something if you don't have your blood, sweat, and tears in it? All right, we're day 2 of the plumbing. We came back because yesterday a lot of what Buddy did was just plan and take inventory, and we marked and we started doing some of the holes, the drilling of the holes where the hot and cold lines are going to be under every single floor joist. Right now we're working our way backwards. So Buddy did a lot of these cold and hots, and then now we're meeting in the middle over here. We just asked Pawpaw for a different paddle bit because ours is as sharp as a spoon now that we've been doing all of these, plus this one's a little bit older. So he's got a nice fancy new one Pawpaw's gonna let us use. And we're just, this side is all just holes for cold. We don't need a hot line this way. And what I did was I came through with a larger drill bit and I pre-drilled these holes. And I know it sounds like double work because you're using a paddle bit on it anyway. But I'm telling you, pre-drilling the holes has really reduced the kickback. This is probably going to be the hardest part of this job, I think, just getting all the holes drilled under in those tight spaces, and then once those are done, we can just like that sound underneath. The hot was the lower hole, right? Okay. Sure.
Alabama, baby. Should have been doing this the whole time.
Huh?
Should have just been using this the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. No kick whatsoever.
Okay, we've got red ran this way. Now we're gonna run the blue. As soon as Buddy finishes 2 more holes, we're gonna pull it all the way down. And then we're gonna cut this off and elbow it for it to run that way. All right, we're taking the blue water line on this side of the house. We'll start over here. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier so we don't have to battle with all that right away. We'll see. Wait.
Okay.
All right, go. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Okay, go. Wait. Okay, go. Wait. Okay. Blue line has been ran. All the way. What? Don't tell me.
I couldn't see it.
Oh my. That's the whole point, bud. Can't see it. Hey. High five me. Yay. Oh, satisfying like butter. Like butter.
Possible. That way you're not making a.
Yeah.
We are literally going to have just enough to blow this house.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
That's God.
Yep.
That's God. Okay, so what we've done now is I went up top and fed him the smaller 1/2 inch cold and hot. That's gonna go to the sink. We've got a reducing tee here. It's going to connect to the 3/4 cold and hot. All right, let's do a little bit of an update. It's hard to record and do everything at once. But we've got this water line we've tacked up over here. We've held it up with some brackets so it doesn't ever sag or come loose or cause some tension on the line, so it's tacked up underneath. It's running over here all the way to this corner where it elbows 90 degree. It's gonna go this way all the way down for the water heater. The water heater is our next stop. And Buddy just went to triple check with Pawpaw before we drill. This is where he wants it, because we're gonna have to come up through the floor right here with the hot and cold lines and then permanently fix so the top of this water heater is where we've got these shark bite connectors that will fit, screw on the hot and the cold lines down to the PEX pipe. And that's gonna run down through these floorboards, connecting everything together. So, but he wants it here. That's what he said he wants. So, double checking before we do any permanent connections, because Papa hasn't seen this yet. So, we wanna make sure that he sees the water heater and he's happy with the placement. And then we'll keep on moving on. And here inside, what I was doing was I was running these lines down so Buddy could connect them underneath. And I just gave ourselves some working room. So this comes up to the window, but realistically, this is gonna be cut somewhere down here under the sink with the connector, with the actual water connector that hooks to your sink, your hot and cold water. And then over here, ran down the same water line. This is for the fridge. And this fridge connector is actually gonna go up here about 4 feet up in the air. All of our fridge connectors that we've ever had are low. The box is low, but Buddy was saying nowadays people mount them higher because there's no real point of doing them low. A lot of times that the boxes are higher. So we've got that one. We've got to run 2 over here. Hot and cold for the shower. Got a cold line for the toilet. Got a hot and cold for the sink. And then, of course, the hot water heater outside. And then we have one other one around here somewhere for the, oh, here it is, cold line for the washer. G does not want a hot water line for the washer. She only washes her stuff on cold, so she just needs a cold line for that. And that's pretty much it until we get to the very, very end where Buddy's gonna run that, where we've run that blue line all the way to where there's gonna be a water spigot.
He said that's the only way, that's the only place it can go, because if you put it on the other side of the door, it's in the way of the ramp, and these stairs will be less used than the ramp, so he wants it right there.
Okay, let's go in here. Answers that question.
So that means I'm coming up right here in this corner.
2 lines, 2 holes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, we are hot and sweaty, taking a break. Not on purpose, but we have to go get more rings. We ran out of the PEX 3/4 rings that we need to crimp around the pipe that fits to the T's and the elbows. So we're headed back, and while we're there, we're going to be looking for some pipe insulation so that we can hopefully insulate the pipes.
Also check and see if they sell actual insulation, and look for a breaker for Pawpaw.
Okay, breaker for Pawpaw, actual like blown-in insulation or bad?
He said see if they just sell insulation in general.
Insulation, okay. I was gonna say something. We only have a couple more things to do. We've got
Shower and sink.
shower and the sink. That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
Oh, and the ice maker. Refrigerator. Water line.
We did that one.
Oh, you're right.
We did that. But tomorrow we're going to be doing the hose bibs and finishing out the water heater lines when they come in, because we ordered those parts from Amazon.
Also the refrigerator water line box that screws into the stud and the ends and wire.
Do we have the manifold for the shower that we can go ahead and do?
It's a kit that all came together. They ordered it, but I don't know when it's going to be here.
Oh.
There's like the shower knob, head, and manifold.
Okay. Alright, so anyway, we got a lot done today so far. We're headed back to the store, per usual. This is just the way it goes. You make like 75 trips.
I'm actually surprised that we haven't made a trip yet for something we didn't have. This is just us running out of the thing.
Right. Right. And we had just enough water line to do the 3/4 inch water line underneath. We had like literally 4 foot of section left. So we had just enough, which was awesome. But we're going to the store. I don't think he has the right cart. I have plumbing? Okay. Stop. Oh, Lord.
Sir, could I get some help in the plumbing?
Oh my God. All right. We are headed home for the day.
It's been a long day.
It's been a really long day. It's been, I don't even know how many hours. But luckily, G and Pawpaw fed us lunch and an early dinner.
Yep.
And we got so much done. Tomorrow, we're hopefully gonna be a little bit closer. We gotta wait on some parts to come in. But we will continue this tomorrow.
All right, so just to recap, had a good weekend worth of plumbing here. Kind of came to a little bit of a standstill, and I'll show you why. But as far as the connections inside the house, we have the washing machine, and the cold is hooked up to it. They just wanted cold. They did not want the hot water hooked up to it. Also, the refrigerator water line connection for the ice maker. Everything else is brought into the house, but we're just at this point kind of waiting on, the big one really we're waiting on is the shower, because we know it's going to go here up against the wall, but I need to know where to install that manifold, where like the handle, it's like the temperature adjuster mixer, or I think that's the word. But the shower is all one piece. So it's here. And I'm just now noticing that it looks like we can cut the hole wherever we want, because there's not a hole for the shower, whatever side it's going to be on. But now that that's here, we can get some measurements and actually finish that off. But I just didn't want to install the mixer manifold thing in the wrong place, too high, too low, anything like that. So that just arrived. I think yesterday it showed up. Water heater is plumbed in, and actually one of my favorite things, I think, about this plumbing job. This is plumbing job number 2 for me. But check this out. At the very end of the run, and I think I talked about it the other day, but at the very end of the run, I put a water hose spigot, because not only is it capping off the run, but it's giving him water hose connection on this side of the house for watering for animals. Another thing that I really like about it is because the house is so high, these are super easy for anyone to reach. Pops doesn't have to bend down, stoop over, anything like that to hook up his water hose. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side when I actually connect in the water, like tie it all together to put water in the house. Once we have kind of fixtures and things in place, I'm going to give him a water hose spigot like this high up, and I'm going to put the shut off for like the whole home shut off valve. I'm going to put that high up, because the goal really is that when Pops is out here working on stuff and hooking up water hoses and things like that, he doesn't have to bend over or stoop or anything like that for any of these connections, whether it be hooking up a water hose, turning the water off, whatever it may be. So that's the goal. But we've gotten a lot done in one weekend, which is great, because my work has just been kind of crazy since I got back from vacation. How it goes. All the things that you didn't do on vacation are just still waiting for you when you get back. So I've been working yesterday was like a 16-hour day. Today was just 11, but still the days during the week are long right now for me at work. So being able to get all this done during the weekend was really good, and Steph was a huge help. But yeah, that's the update on the plumbing so far. Next step is just get the shower plumbed in, and I could start putting hoses on all the other fixtures and hook the water up and test it, make sure we don't have leaks anywhere and all that good stuff. But that's the plumbing at G and Pops's new house update. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
On the Denman Homestead, where the sun sets golden in the west, we live in harmony with nature, doing what we love best. From the garden to the kitchen, and the bees inside their hive. On the Denman Homestead, come along and plant, nourish, thrive.